Marilyn Zook here with CZook Stitch. Today is Saturday, May 30th, 2020. Welcome to my channel about cross stitch. I'm so glad that you're here. If you're returning, thank you for coming back and spending part of your Saturday with me. And if you're new, welcome. We've had several new subscribers, so I'm really glad that everybody's here. I hope everyone's doing well, staying safe and healthy. We're doing well here in Portland. I actually woke up this morning. I was awakened by thunder, which we get very rarely. If you've been following me for a while, you know I grew up in Nebraska where summer thunderstorms were very common, and I really miss thunderstorms. So I was so happy. I actually woke up with a smile on my face for the first time in a while. So that was a lovely way to wake up. And I got up earlier than I have been. Usually I'm a pretty early riser. But quarantine has really done something with my sleep habits, as I'm sure some of you can relate to. So I was happy to get up, about 6:30 and kind of have my morning routine. So I'm coming at you. It's not even 8:30 in the morning yet. I'm trying to get this filmed before my Safeway delivery. That's our local grocery. Well, we have several local grocery stores, but since COVID-19 has happened, I have been ordering my groceries online and get them delivered by Safeway. So my Safeway delivery is scheduled to be here between 9 and 11 a.m. So let's jump into it. So first up, I had a question. I'm looking at my pile over here. I had a question from Anne, my good friend Anne. She had asked me in the last video, how do I manage my fabric in my Q-snaps and the Grime guard and all that? And I'm looking to see if I have a good example, because I took some things out of the Q-snaps to show you, but I will try to show you as kind of we go through it. But essentially what I do is, so I use, as you know, I'm a Garon Tote and Bags fan. Their Grime guards, I think, so I haven't used other Grime guards, so I don't have anything to compare to. But from what I've heard from other people is that their Grime guards are actually a little bit wider, which means that you have more room to kind of store your fabric in it. When I first started, I would kind of just bunch up the fabric, and that works, especially, it makes it wrinkled, but it's going to get wrinkled in the Q-snap anyway. That works if you don't have a ton of leftover fabric, but I'll show you some of these pieces I'm working on now. The Hawk Run Hollow pieces have a lot of leftover fabric, so I will show you how I manage them, even though they're out of the Q-snaps, and hopefully that will answer your question. It's really just about rolling up the fabric is essentially what I do. So, Anne, I will kind of show that to you as we go through today, but I thought that was a really great question, and maybe some of you have a similar question, or if you have other tips for Anne, leave them in the comments down below, and we can kind of share our knowledge. So, first up, we're going to talk about Mania. So, Mania is coming to an end. I only started 5 pieces, but I am worn out. And I think it's not even from the starts so much as they were all large pieces, and especially the Hawk Run Hollows have a lot of colors. So it was a lot of prepping my thread keeps that I'm just really worn out on. In fact, the one I started last night, I only worked in one color, and I only prepped that one color. I haven't even prepped the rest of the colors yet. It's a lot of work. And so I really admire those of you who did 15 new starts or 20 new starts or however you manage. It's a lot of work to manage just kind of the prepping for it. I don't mind the new starts as much, but I am quite worn out. And I am looking forward to I'm doing 4 new starts in June, but we'll talk about that later. It never ends. It never ends. There's just too much good stuff out there. So first up, I want to show you, this is last week's Mania start, Mania number 4. And it's spring at Hawk Run Hollow. And I can't remember. I think I might have already showed you this. Did I show you this? I can't remember. Anyway, my goal for May was to finish this top border. And I did do that. And then my goal for June is to finish this first block. So I want to show you what I have done. And so this is under finish, but I think I might have showed you this last week, but I can't remember because let's blame it on quarantine, shall we? Let's blame everything on quarantine. Okay, so, oh, you know what? I just found the back of a needle minder that I had lost. That's why it wasn't folding properly. Perfect. Okay. So this is where I'm at. So I got that top border is completely done. You can see there's bees, the nest, and the flowers. And forgive me if I already showed this finished last week. I honestly can't remember now, and I'm losing my mind. The nest was a pain to stitch, as I probably said. But I did get it done, and that was my goal. And then as you can see, I started on block 1. There is quite a bit of stitching. Oops, there we go. In this block, but it's more that border. It's a brick house border. And so there's a few stitches and then you switch colors, and a few stitches and you switch colors. And it's really pretty. These colors I would never think to put together. But they're far enough apart that I don't really feel comfortable carrying my thread. So it's a lot of it's do 9 stitches and then I have to cut it and rethread and start it. So it's taking a while, but I am liking the effect of it. And this is what it will look like. So I'm on this first block there, and you can see I'm kind of working on, it's like the brick around the window there. So that's what I'm working on. So this is kind of whip and finish. I wrote down in my, anyway, that's where I'm at. Now, Anne, for something like this, which is not very wide, it actually fits in an 11 by 11 Q-snap very well. And I was able to, well, I guess not quite get the whole top border in, but definitely the first block easily fits in 11 by 11 Q-snap, so I don't have to change it. But the problem with this, and this is the same as the autumn, look how long it is. Oh my goodness, look how long it is. So what I do with this is I will first place it in the Q-snap where I want it and get it all settled in the Q-snap. And then what I will do is I will neatly roll the fabric from the bottom up, and I will try to do it as neat as possible. You know, it will still wrinkle because it's fabric, but wrinkles should come out. I try to roll it not necessarily as tight as I can, but not super loose either. So at about, you know, just kind of a clean, medium tightness, not super tight. It still feels pretty loose. And then what I do, because I mostly use 11 by 11. So, and this is thick. This has gotten pretty thick. But what I do is when I place this in the Q-snap or the grime guard, I curve it somewhat so that it kind of forms around the Q-snap. And then I use my grime guard to hold it in. So it's a really neat, confined way to kind of control your fabric. Otherwise, I think if you just crinkled it up with this much fabric, it just wouldn't work. So that's how I manage it. And on a project like this, where I'm working on one block at a time, and so I'm not really moving the Q-snap a lot, I did have to move it quite a bit for the border, the top border. But other than that, you know, once you get kind of past the top border on a piece like this, and if you are working on a piece where you have to move it a lot, it's fine, it still works. It's just a little bit of a pain because you want to make sure that you just keep this somewhat nice and confined. That's what I do. Again, when I have a lot of fabric, there's a lot of different ways that you can do it, and I'll show you another one here in just a minute. But that's how I handle this, and I will try to remember to show you also next time. I just wanted to show you the top border of this. So next time you see this piece, it'll probably still be in the Q-snap, and I can give you a better idea. It is a lot of fabric, and it does sometimes get in the way, so you just kind of have to be aware of that. If you don't like using 11 by 11 Q-snaps, or if they are too heavy for you, as I know for some people they are, you can just put the Q-snap in and just have this part resting in your lap. That's another thing you could do. You just want to be careful that you're, keeping it clean. You could even kind of put it, if you have a cloth bag or a pillowcase. You could even put the excess fabric inside a pillowcase to protect it somewhat, and just set it in your lap or on the side of your chair as you're only working from, say, if you use an 8x8 Q-snap, for example, it might not fit this amount of fabric, but you can just rest it because this piece in particular is long enough. So I know some people have a hard time holding the 11x11 Q-snaps. They can get kind of big, and if you have arthritis with the added weight of a lot of fabric. So those are some tips. If you have other ideas of how you handle and manage the fabric, please leave them down below, and we'll help each other out there. But that is my spring at Hawk Run Hollow. As you know, my new goal, is to do a block a month. So hopefully I will be done with this next year. Okay, I'm just gonna drop them on the floor there. Okay, so Mania number 5, my final Mania start for this year was Autumn at Hawk Run Hollow. Look at that piece. It's a mixture of some Halloween, very autumnal. These give you a close-up of the pictures. Look at all that stitching. I mean, this one in particular, I mean, there's houses in the first 3 blocks, which is a lot of stitching. There's some ones with words, which is a little bit less stitching, but some of these are just a lot of stitching. And it's the same shape. It's the same exact stitch count as the spring. So that makes it a little bit easier, I think. And so I'm going to show you my progress that I got last night. Like I said, I only prepped the one color, 3371, that I used. And this is going to look really familiar to you. I got only the border done. It's the exact same border as it was for spring. I was kind of dreading doing it again because I'm like, I just did this a couple weeks ago. But it was a different color, so that helped. So I got that done. Now this one does not have any words in the top, so I plan on completing it just as it is. It has pumpkins and spiders and a crow. Those pumpkins I think are going to be a lot of stitching, so I do expect this border to take me a little bit longer than the spring one did, but that's okay. My goal on the autumn, which is similar to the Halloween one, is to get it halfway done, so 6 blocks by next Halloween, Halloween 2021. We'll see. I think even that is a pretty lofty goal. But a lot of you are working on Hawk Run Hollows with me. So Dee, we started Sal. Did we have a hashtag? I don't know. Kimberly is starting them with her daughter. Any Hawk Run Hollow, let's work on it together. I'll come up with a hashtag. Hawk Run Hollow Sal. Hashtag Hawk Run Hollow Sal. Let's do that because I want to see your progress. And so wherever, if you started a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever your progress is, pull out your Hawk Runs. Pull out your Hawk Runs. This is by Carriage House Samplings, by the way. I just assume the designer's Hawk Run Hollow, but it's not. So I always forget to say the designer's Carriage House Samplings. So we'll use hashtag Hawk Run Hollow Sal. Any Hawk Run, any stage that you're in, you don't have to have just started it. If you're planning on starting it but haven't kitted it up yet, which I know several of you have said that, hey, I want to start those too, just join us. No rules, any Hawk Run. Because you know what? So here's their listing of other Hawk Run Hollows. I still want Christmas, which I don't own yet. And I still want Map of Hawk Run Hollow. So those are the 2 others that I want eventually, someday. So that's Mania number 5 start. So that is Mania. That's my first Mania. I had a lot of fun. It was great to get, these are pieces that are really special to me that I've been thinking a lot about. So the 3 Hawk Runs, Autumn, Spring, Halloween, Narnia by Jan Hicks Creates, and Death by Cross Stitch by Long Dog. Those pieces are all pieces I've been eyeing and really wanting to start and are very special to me. They feel very special to me for different ways. So it was really fun to start them all this month. I'm very excited about that. So congratulations to those who participated in Mania, whether you participated by starting a bunch of things, by working on whips, by working on one project, by cheering people on and just watching from the sidelines. It was a really fun month. So next up, my whips. So I did non-sanctioned 24 hours of cross stitch last weekend with a couple of friends, Robin and Andrea. I made 24 hours. Okay, I was 10 seconds short, but I had just finished a thread and I wasn't about to start another thread for 10 seconds. So I said, well, I can probably round up on this one. So I did 23 hours and 50 seconds. Almost 24 hours. I just couldn't eke out those last 10 seconds. But I got some great progress. So I got, some of the progress was on the spring at Acorns Hollow. That was that progress. I pulled out Easter Parade by Blackbird Designs. I'm working on the bunny. I started this in April, and I got some good progress on it. So I got probably another quarter. This is hard to show you. This is why people put it on hard boards. And anyway, I got this corner done. So I'm really happy with that progress. I think maybe another 6 to 8 hours it might be done. I did notice, though, I am sick to my stomach over this. So if any of you have any ideas, you see there's a spot on here? So my old printer was a inkjet, and when you use inkjet printers, they print on top of the paper. It's a little bit different process, so the ink can rub off or it can smear if you highlight over it. And I had my pattern folded back, and so the ink from the pattern got onto here, and I don't know what to do about it. I haven't touched it, so if any of you know how to get spot, I have never gotten a spot on my stitching before. So if any of you have any suggestions, I am open. These are over-dyed. This is all over-dyed. So I'm not going to wash it. I'm going to spot clean it, but I need your suggestions because I'm probably 3/4 done and I got a spot, and I'm super mad at myself and sick to my stomach over it. Well, there's another spot there too. No worries. I have a new printer that I got for Christmas from my folks that is a laser jet, which doesn't do that. So Blackbird Designs. There's the Easter bunny. I want to get this done, and it should get done in time for Easter next year. And I also want to do the basket by next year as well. So that'll make a cute little set, get matching frames for them. I think that'll be really cute. So I did a 6-hour rotation on that for the non-sanctioned 24 hours of cross stitch. I did a 6-hour rotation on spring at Acorns Hollow. I did a 6-hour rotation on Harbor Haven number 8, which is a new start this month. My goal is to finish number 8 for June. That's my June goal. Again, this was my old printer that ran out of color ink, but that's what it will look like. You're going to laugh at my progress, but here it is. I couldn't even finish filling in that leaf. I don't know why, you guys. I think I finished a thread and I was like, that's way more stitching than it looks and I want to be done. And I've obviously covered up the rest. So this is scene 8 of Acorns Hollow out of 12. I don't ever get tired of looking at this piece, but I will say I'm getting awfully tired of doing trees. There's a tree in every single one of these, and I'm kind of over it. So, Anne, here's a good example. So this is 11 by 17 Q-snap. So it's longer. There's a lot of excess fabric, but because I'm using a larger Q-snap, it can roll and tuck quite nicely under here. But again, this might be too large for some people, unless you're putting this in a floor stand that would hold it for you. But yeah, this is a little tight over here. I got this a little close to my already stitched part, so I won't do that in the future because it's just a little close and I had to be careful I wasn't catching some stitches on the back there. I don't know if you can see that. So I had to be really careful and pull that over, but eventually we'll be working our way over here and we'll get number 8 done in the month of June. That's the plan. So I did a 6-hour rotation on that. Let's see. So that's 6 hours Jack says hello. We did 6 hours on the bunny. We did 6 hours on Hawk Run Hollow. We did 6 hours on Harbor Haven. And 6 hours on I can't remember. Spring. I can't remember. I'm so sorry. Was that Halloween? No, I showed Halloween last week. I'm so sorry, guys. My brain is not working. I apparently need more coffee. Hold, please. I honestly really can't remember. Okay, so Easter Parade, Hawk Run Hollow, Spring at Hawk Run Hollow. Harbor Haven. Spring at Hawk Run Hollow. I don't know what my last rotation was. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter. I've showed you everything I've worked on for this week. So that's what I've worked on. I'm happy with the progress. Yeah, so I'm happy with the progress. I am excited that I have these Hawk Run Hollows started. Okay, so next up, I didn't tell you any of the fabrics. This is Jack, who you heard meowing. He is a baby at 13 years old. I know he looks really unhappy, but he actually is purring. He loves it. You don't see him too often. He usually doesn't come on. You usually see Simon. But he is ready for snuggles this morning. Okay, so it's really bugging me that I can't remember what my 4th rotation was. But I need to let it go, don't I? Okay, so hi, baby. So let's talk about something that I can talk about with a cat in my arms. Let's talk about haul. So for haul, one haul that I'm not going to show you is I got a lot of materials in for Jolly July. And I'm not showing just because it's DMC threads, it's some Aida fabric, and you're going to see all of that when I pull them out to work on them. So there's no need to show you just some Aida. Jolly July, my plan is to do 12 new starts on ornaments. Well, 11 ornaments and 1 is going to be Kringles. So that's much larger than an ornament. So I got that. A lot of that came from One, Two, Three Stitch. Okay, so other haul. So last week I mentioned that I got my Color and Cotton fabric of the month. And I think my next month is already at my P.O. box, but I haven't had a chance to go there. So I think I put this away already before last week, so I wanted to pull out and show you. This is called Trade Winds. I'm in the Lugana 32 count club, and I get the 17 by 26 inches. So it's a bit more blue than it's showing up. It's showing up rather gray. It's a bit more blue, but it's a great neutral. So I'm excited to find a project for that. And then I placed an order with Everything Cross Stitch. I think that is where I got a bunch of my Jolly July from. And then, you forget, I forgot some, a piece of a DMC here or there, whatnot. And you can't just order a couple skeins of DMC because that's, no floss travels alone. So I ended up buying Lavender and Lace Autumn, Celtic Woman. So I now have the set. So I have all 4 seasons plus the Christmas one. So I am thrilled about this. No plans to start them. Knowing me, I will probably start them next year because I can't wait. I think they are gorgeous. There's a Facebook group. I can link it below. And some people do beautiful, beautiful conversions. So if you don't really love those colors, these colors don't really say autumn to me. They more say spring. So I will probably convert the colors to make it more autumnal. But I got that. And so now my collection is complete of those. So I'm very excited. And then I had to order, just another piece of fabric or something for Jolly July, and I had to pick up Halloween Quaker. This is by Lila Studio. I love this piece. Again, I'm not a Halloween stitcher. I'm not. Gary from Sunshine Stitchers just started this piece. I think it's lovely. Again, I have no plans to start it because I have enough going on, but I really like it, and I wanted to make sure it's in my stash so that, I always worry that things are going to go out of print. Anyway. And then I got some Happy Mail. I was some surprise Happy Mail. So first up, from my friend Dallas. Dallas reached out to me and said she accidentally bought 2 of these. This is called Books and Cats, and it's designed by Paola Poisi. Putini is her name, or the name of the company. It says, "A house is not a home without books and cats." And how appropriate that my black kitty just sat on my lap. And look at the little paw prints on her dress. I think this is so sweet, and this was such a generous gift. So Dallas, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. I can't wait to stitch it. And then my friend Robin sent me some Happy Mail. Robin has her own Flosstube as well. It's Bird's Eye Stitcher, so I will link it below. So feel free, make sure you go and check her out. She sent me this beautiful piece of fabric. Look at this. It's a huge piece. It looks like a Bestitch Me fabric. I'm guessing. It's not labeled. There's no colorway on it, but it's a beautiful, large piece. I'm guessing it's a 32 count, I'm going to guess. But it's beautiful. And along with that, she sent me several charts. So she passed the stash and sent me the Happy Easter chart for a Tiny Modernist. She just completed this. So if you go check out her channel, you can see this complete. It's gorgeous. It's such an adorable chart. This is one of those that normally wouldn't be my style, but if I just saw the chart, it's cute, but I'm like, well, it's not really my style. But I saw her stitching it, and it was just adorable. So she offered to pass a stash on that, so thank you very much, Robin. And then she included this book, also by Tiny Modernist, of Easter Cuties. Look at these sweet things. And I like how they have them finished individually, but you could also finish them all on one piece if you wanted, like 2 by 2. I think that would be cute, or make little door hangers and just kind of hang them around your house to decorate for Easter. I think that would be so sweet. And then she also included a Madame Chantilly chart, which I have been eyeing, and I can't pronounce it. There's the title of the chart. It's all in French. And I don't know what this says, because it's all in French. So I'll hold it there for a second. If you speak French and know what that says, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll put it through Google Translate. But I just love, she is running through a field of poppies catching stars in her net. I absolutely love it. I wish I knew what it said. So if I can't figure out what it said, I might leave that off and just push up the poppy border to be right under here. Or if I can figure out what it said, I might translate it into English. But I just think that's the sweetest, sweetest chart. I love that. And then last but not least, from Robin, was this chart, Peppermint Snowflake Tree by Just Nan. And look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? It's like a little peppermint tree. And look at the dove on top there. And it comes with some beads and a charm. So it's very sweet. So that was super sweet. Thank you so much, Robin, for your generosity and for your friendship. I really, really appreciate it. Okay, so I gotta get a bigger desk. I think that's what I'm learning. I have to get a bigger desk. So giveaways. So I saw there's like 4 of you. I've seen that you have emailed me with your address in my inbox that I haven't replied to yet. I see your emails. I just haven't replied to it. I'm teaching a class in addition to my job, so I feel like I'm constantly replying to messages, and I'm kind of running out of time, which is why I've gotten a little behind on my Flosstube comments, but that doesn't mean that I don't appreciate them. And so class is going to be ending in a couple of weeks, and then I should be much better about response time and all that. So I apologize. It's just I have to tend to the jobs that pay my bills first, unfortunately. So I have seen your emails. If I haven't replied, I will reply, but I see you. So giveaways for this week. We gave away this little unicorn chart by Heart and Hand. And the winner of this is Lynette Peters. So Lynette, congratulations. I'm pretty sure I have your address because I'm pretty sure you've won before. Next up is this little steeple. Can I just say, again, I say this every week, but your sentences crack me up. They are amazing. You guys were so creative. I love it. The winner of this is Kay Lowry. Kay, I know I have your address because you just won something. So I'll get that in the mail to you. We had this bookmark kit. So it comes with the Ada and the thread. And I think I said I wasn't sure. I didn't see a needle in there. And it is opened. It came to me that way. This was past the stash from my friend Andrea. But the winner of this is Charlie Craig. So Charlie, congratulations. I think I do need your address. So if you can email me at czookstitch@gmail.com. This one, Fragments in Time by Summer House Stitchworks. This is a popular one. Kimberly Gatz, you won this. And Kimberly and her daughter are doing the Hawk Run Hollows. They're just starting them. And Kimberly said that she has a new Flosstube channel. Now, I was replying to comments last night, so I didn't see her comment till last night. So I asked her to tell me what her new Flosstube channel is. I don't think she's replied yet, or I haven't checked it yet. So as soon as I find out, I will let you know what her Flosstube channel is, so you can check her out. But Kimberly, you won this. Do I have it? I feel like I should have your address if I don't, but you probably know better, so email me. Next up is I Need a Little Love, Needle Little Love, a Leisure Arts booklet. Isn't that cute with that little mouse and the little stitching? And Dee Neely, Dee, you won this. Dee is joining us, and I'll talk about this in a minute, on the Royal Holiday Sal coming up, but she's doing it as her birthday sal. So Dee's birthday is coming up. So congratulations, Dee. Again, Dee, I feel like I should have your address. I don't know if I do, though. If you haven't won anything from me see, sometimes I get confused because people like Dee and Kimberly, and, if you're in my Facebook group, our Facebook group is pretty small, but you should join us. It's Suzuki Stitch on Facebook. It's really fun, and you get to know each other so well that I feel like I should have your address. Maybe I don't, though. Next up is Good Words. And the winner of this is Gigi Stitches. I swear, Gigi somehow went. I think she sprinkles some type of pixie dust over. She wins almost every week that she enters. She wins something. I don't know how she does it. I just use the YouTube random comment picker. I promise. So Gigi, I will get that in the mail to you. Drawn Thread. This is the Brown Ranch Sampler. This is another popular one. And Crystal Cross Stitcher, you won this. Crystal, you just won something, so I'm pretty sure I have your address. So I will get that in the mail to you this week. And the ones who won last week. So my computer stopped recording for some reason. I don't know why. You think I'd notice there's a little green light up top that tells you when it's recording, and it just stopped randomly. So I apologize. I think where I went cut off, because I got through basically the whole rest of the video before I realized it cut off. So I think the last you heard me say was that those of you who won giveaways from last week, I have not gotten them in the mail yet, but I will do that this week. It's been so hectic. And I know that just sounds like an excuse, but I will definitely get them out to you. Okay, so now plans. Let's start with plans for June. I'm starting 4 new big projects in June because why not? Why not carry on Mania into Junia? I know some of you are doing that too. I've seen you on in the group saying, oh, May got away from me, or something came up in May, so I'm going to move it to June. So first up, June 1st, Jan Hicks and I are going to start Balmy Spring Day, which is a Hade. Artwork is by Aaron Dirtner. We're going to start this together. Look at that. Isn't that going to be beautiful? We are actually going to record ourselves starting it, and we're going to start and chat, and that video will appear on my channel sometime that week, probably shortly after the 1st. The 1st is Monday. And I am all ready. I have this loaded into Pattern Keeper. And I have my materials pack from Michelle at Heaven and Earth Designs. So we have been talking about starting this probably, I don't know, Jan, it's been almost a year, I feel like, that we've been talking about starting it. We originally planned to start it in March as a birthday start, and then we kept kind of pushing it back. So June 1, and Jan has been doing Monogamania, and she is itching for a new start, I know. So this will be really fun to start with her. And then on June 8th, I'm going to start my first Mira, Royal Holiday. It's also called a Christmas Queen. But Royal Holiday, I'm starting this with Gary from Sunshine Stitchers and Garon. We're starting this June 8th. We're going to use the hashtag Royal Holiday Sal. Now, I know Matthew and Dee, you're going to be starting this as well, but I think you're starting a few days earlier for Dee's birthday. Happy birthday, Dee. But there'll be several of us starting this, so come on, join us. You know, there's no rules. You can start at any time. If you're thinking, oh, I don't even have anything yet, just join us. There's no rules. We're going to be doing this for a while. I have my fabric. This is Neverland Sea by Fabrics by Stephanie. I think she will look gorgeous on this darker fabric. More kitting up floss that I need to do. I have a bunch of floss in here. There's some beads. There's some whisper. There's a bunch of Kryneck. And then if you can see in here, there's a bunch of floss that needs to be put on thread keeps. So I will be working on that. Yeah. So that will be our June 8th start. So we were supposed to start this at StitchCon. StitchCon was supposed to be June 11th through the 14th. And I was going to start this piece with Gary in person at StitchCon. StitchCon is canceled for this year, so we're going to go ahead and start them anyway. And Gary, we'll find some other project for us to start together next year in person. All right. And then the same for this kit. This is Alforce Embroidery by Cat. I was supposed to start with this with Jan Hicks. So back to Jan in person at StitchCon. We are going to start this on June 11th. Okay, so everything you need is in this kit. There's the pattern, there's the thread, the needle minder, and the fabric. Everything you need is in here. So I'm excited to start this. I've never done an Alforce embroidery kit before, so I'm really excited to start this one. June 11th is that one. Then the last big start for June is back to Gary. Summer Quakers. This is a Rosewood Manor. We're going to start this the first day of June. Gary is hosting a big stitch along. Now, he's hosted all 4 seasons of the stitch along. I did not start autumn and winter with them because I was resisting, and then I could resist no longer. So I have all 4 kits. I have a very tiny start on the spring one. I don't even think I have the first little motif done. On the spring one, I started it maybe 3 weeks before they started it. So they started on the first of the season. So we'll be starting this June 20th, the first day of summer. So I'll start this with them. And then I will go ahead and start the autumn and winter ones when autumn and winter later this year when that comes around. Also in June, I plan to, as I mentioned before, I plan to finish Harbor Haven number 8, scene 8. That'll be great. And then I plan to finish block 1 of the Hawker & Hollow Spring. I also am going to do at the end of June, which you can watch for, at the end of June, I'm going to do a mid-year whip parade. Somebody, and I'm so sorry, it's been a couple months since somebody had suggested it, and I'm sorry, I didn't write down your name. I wish I would have. But somebody said, hey, what about doing a mid-year whip parade? And I think that's a great idea. There's been a lot of new subscribers. I've had a lot of new starts. So we usually do whip parades at the end of the year in December or early January, which I plan to do as well. I'll do it again then. But I'm excited I think it's a great idea. So thank you to you who suggested it. I'm excited to do that. I think it's a wonderful idea. So I will be doing a whip parade at the end of June. So that's June's plans overall. For this coming week, what am I going to work on? Well, I have 2 more days to work on Autumn at Hawk Run Hollow. So I started it last night. I got the border done. I'm going to be working on the inside tonight and tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to work on the temperature tree. You might have noticed I didn't show the temperature tree this week. I didn't work on it at all. So I'm a little behind. It should be fine. It won't take me that long to get caught back up because it's mostly the leaves, but then I have to do the June branch, which will take a little bit of time. And I think my Safeway delivery order is here. So I will hurry up and finish up. So temperature tree, I will be working on that. Balmy Spring Day, I'm going to try to do a 4-hour rotation on that since I usually do a 4-hour rotation on my Hade each month, Farewell to Anger. And then Harbor Haven number 8 I will be working on as well. I think that's it. I hear the Safeway guy outside, which is great because it's just a little after 9 a.m. So that means I get my groceries early. I think that's everything I have for you today. Thanks so much for sticking with me. And again, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're healthy, wearing your mask out and about where you should be, and just following the guidelines. I don't mean to preach it, but really this is to keep each other safe and healthy. And I think this community is so supportive of that and believes in that because we're such a caring community. So thank you so much for being here with me. I'm really happy you're here, and I hope you have some great stitching time. I'll see you next week. Bye.